GSA AAS logo appears. Title screen reads, Agile acquisition methods. Next title screen reads, Fair opportunity notice.
Traditional solicitations are meant for acquisitions under FAR Part 15.3. They're long, they're complicated, and they're susceptible to contradicting themselves. You have to put a lot of similar information in multiple places, and if you change one section down the road, you could have a solicitation that is at odds with itself. And even without contradictions, these solicitations can be hard for industry partners to read through and derive the government's key points. But IDIQ ordering doesn't require the use of this solicitation format. Rather, when ordering under existing vehicles, contracting officers are encouraged to keep things simple. After choosing a contract that supports the scope of your requirements, trust that the contract office has done its due diligence in establishing the minimum ground rules and expectations. Then, use a fair opportunity notice, or a FON, to do two key things: describe your requirements and clearly outline how you will provide a fair opportunity to contract holders. By doing these two things, you'll avoid duplicating steps that the IDIQ contract has already done, saving you significant time and money. Writing a clear, concise document invites competition by making it easier for industry to read, which cuts down writing expenses on the government's part. Plus, FONs tend to utilize a statement of objectives, which further encourages innovation from industry. We've done this enough times to know it works and serves us well.
Title screen reads, Voluntary down select.
If you use a fair opportunity notice, as Carolyn described, you'll probably get a significant bump in competition, which is a great thing. Increased competition drives innovation and lowers prices, two things contracting officers love. But you'll want to do so without overburdening the government evaluators and adding too much time to the process. As we've talked about, the bar for IDIQ orders is finding out who is best suited to your requirements. And although they might be minimally qualified, not everyone is well suited to do the job. The government is not the only one that suffers. A traditional acquisition, with its large solicitation and rigid steps, requires a heavy investment of time and money from our industry partners as well. To lighten the load for both industry and the government, consider the use of a multi-phase or step approach, like a voluntary down select. Use a limited initial technical response up front to gauge your industry partner's capability. This could be something as simple as a written response to 2 to 4 technical questions posed by the government. Based on their responses, advise industry partners regarding their relative suitability to the requirements, allowing them the option to continue on through the acquisition process or to remove themselves from consideration. Using a voluntary down select will give your industry partners an initial reading of their suitability to your requirements and will afford them the chance to strategically decide whether to continue pursuing your order. This is especially useful to small businesses, which typically do not have a significant amount of bid and proposal funding in their budgets and have to be very strategic in their pursuits. Furthermore, the voluntary down select step saves the government significant time and money in evaluation, while maintaining the increased competition you get when using a FON. By giving them a chance to opt in or opt out, you're providing them a second chance to evaluate their odds of winning and act accordingly.
Title screen reads, In-person evaluation.
Another method that saves time and effort is the in-person evaluation. The idea of in-person evaluations, such as oral presentations, is nothing new to government acquisition. Oral technical proposals require the offeror's personnel to present portions of the offeror's proposal in person to the government. Mind you, oral presentations can be written by professional writers and then rehearsed and memorized by the presentation's personnel. That hinders the government's ability to gauge the actual capabilities and know-how of the offeror's technical experts. Instead of oral presentations, use an in-person evaluation or interview. Invite the offeror to send its key technical personnel who will be assigned to your task order. Then, ask them a predetermined but undisclosed set of questions, and give them enough time to caucus and deliver their response. By doing this, the government can evaluate the applicable knowledge and problem-solving skills of the personnel proposed. Evaluators could also gain insight into how they would work together and interact.
Title screen reads, Pairwise comparisons.
Typically, contracting officers inform technical evaluators that, above all, they should not compare offers to one another, but only to the evaluation criteria. As a result, those evaluators can't give the contracting officer a concise recommendation of technical superiority, one that takes into account the relative benefits of offers compared to one another. Instead of this, embrace pairwise comparisons, a technique that allows you to compare offers to each other. When using pairwise comparisons, start by comparing the offer to the evaluation criteria you stated in the FON. Note all of the positives and negatives of the offer per your criteria, being sure to follow the methodology you laid out. Then, compare the relative benefits, both positive and negative, of each response. By comparing offers in terms of the evaluation criteria you put in your FON, your technical team can provide a more valuable recommendation based on the offer's technical proposals as a whole. This may eliminate the confusion that often occurs when determining adjectival ratings for a large number of proposals.
To review, here are the 4 methods you can rely on to save you time and effort during the acquisition process. Use a clear and concise fair opportunity notice. Lighten your load by using a multi-phase approach like voluntary downselect. Conduct in-person interviews for a more realistic, efficient evaluation. And finally, implement pairwise comparisons to help your technically superior offer rise to the top.
Title screen reads, Agile acquisition methods.